Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Every discussion from experience, and hopefully within it delivers some deliverance. It's all facts and opinionated, from the west where that real spit originated. Brothers truly trying to save a soul, provoke thought so we can really designate a goal. We on that grown man scribble, the ball in our court with command on the dribble. This is something that'll help us show, cause it's something that'll help us grow. We see exactly what the people need. Now welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollseedz. Welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollseedz. Welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollseedz. Learn to listen when it's grown man talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown man talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Spitt'n Pollseedz.
Yep. What up, what up, what up?
What up?
Y'all know what it
that
is.
day again?
What is it? Spitt'n Pollseedz. Spitt'n Pollseedz Wednesday.
Man,
No, Spitt'n Pollseedz Day.
Spitt'n Place Wednesday. It was
it's replacing.
it was announced 2 years ago that they took Wednesday out.
Yeah.
We put
Pollseedz Day. Yeah.
We had it, the policy, you know, we took it to Sacramento and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We filibustered the.
Yeah, at least we got it on the ballot in Cudahy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We had those people petition. We had those petitions. We sitting in front of bonds.
I think
we were in front of windshields having people sign petitions.
exactly. I think right now the only state that is not is still debating is Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
You know, they
Arizona.
always
Well, you know, they took a while to even do Martin Luther King, so we expect that from them.
daylight saving time. I mean, I don't know, man.
This is an election year coming up, so
Yeah,
we'll probably get it in 24.
Yeah, 24 is coming.
So
Definitely.
if you see any people petitioning in front of your local grocery stores, liquor stores,
asking you to
Look
sign
out,
the
weed
ballot.
dispensaries, go ahead and
Asking
sign
you to
up
sign the
petition.
ballot.
Yeah.
For Wednesday to be changed to
Pollseedz
Spitt'n
Day.
Pollseedz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep pushing
Spit Day.
across the land.
Yeah, hey, you're doing too much there. You're doing too much there, buddy.
Went to massage parlors.
Yeah,
Wow.
That went in the direction that I
Walking and
Seemed like a
and the mic is in front of you. That's how they
A red mic.
Hey, yeah.
That's the only red one.
Yeah, he got me over here. I'm doing like this. I'm doing like this.
Yeah,
Like, good Lord.
I love P Diddy in him, no?
why it went in that direction, I don't know.
Oh wow. Mm.
Yeah, but we-
the Pollseedz. Add
Can
that.
you usher this fella out of here?
Yeah.
And for those
My
that
bad,
are watching,
my bad.
this is a pre-recorded show, so you can't call into this show, but you can definitely make some comments, and we will reply.
Sorry, Spence. We
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, no
Call us
call
next
in.
week, buddy.
Yeah, next
Yeah,
week, Spence. Good looking, bro.
No, he graduated from Buddy. He's more like
Yeah,
a
homeboy.
partner or a homie
Yeah.
or an OG.
Yeah, you know,
yeah,
as
yeah.
he changes his urban vernacular, we're going to upgrade
Yeah,
him
we're
into.
gonna upgrade him.
And I think I've seen him because he had a white guy with a free Drayster t-shirt on.
Oh,
So
really?
It probably was him.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't even know if I ever want to see him because it's going to take not like that, but it's going to take away the
Right,
mystique.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
away the mystique.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's somewhere in the cloud.
Yeah, he made
right?
catfish,
Yeah.
You never want to see your heroes.
Yeah, we
you
don't-
never want to meet your heroes.
Yeah,
in
we
person.
don't want to be
Right.
catfish.
Yeah.
So just keep calling, Spence.
Yeah,
Just
you wanna
not
be
this
catfish.
Wednesday.
Yeah, first call of them all, man. Spencer.
So the title of the show, Love's Clock. What's the under?
What do we mean by love?
Love's clock is navigating the age of matrimony.
Navigating.
When should you get married?
Yes.
Love's clock.
But we're going to, before we get into that topic, we're going to check into everybody's weekend or week.
weekend.
Since
Yeah, 'cause
we're
we doing the
recording
show,
this
yeah.
early.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
How was yours, Trevor?
I had a very busy weekend. I had a full weekend. I had an awesome time with my daughter and with Monica,
Mhm.
and work was full and
Which
busy.
daughter? Both daughters?
Lonnie.
Oh, okay.
And who is Monica?
Kaiser.
For those
Monica's
that
my
don't,
fiance,
there you go.
Okay.
and she
You say that with fervor.
No, he
Yeah.
said that in
Fiance,
cursive. He
yeah.
said
Yeah.
my
I said it in
fiance.
cursive.
Yeah.
Father.
Yeah.
I the whole family, the girls and
Mhm.
all of them, just had a good time. However, the only speed bump or the sour aspect of it was my aunt that had passed away.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
My
So she had
condolences,
passed
bro.
away.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
And the family getting together, but not just everyone wasn't sad. Everyone is supportive and encouraging of one another. So
That's
it's sweet and sour.
Right.
Yeah.
How about yours, P?
My weekend was great, man. Yeah, we had some few sales here at Swank.
Okay. That's good.
So that was
That's a
good.
thing.
You know, yeah,
It's the season.
yeah.
Yeah.
The revenue was flowing.
Amen.
Yeah.
I'm happy
That's
for
always a good weekend when the revenue is flowing.
The economy
Yeah.
was stimulated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
The economy,
Yes.
Trevor. The
Yes.
economy.
He was
Yes.
bleeding this weekend.
Yeah,
That's why he got the shirt on. He was bleeding this
Yes.
weekend.
Yes. And I was able to help, a couple guys get their swank on, get a
Yeah.
little swanky. That's what I love doing.
Yeah.
That was
Swanky guy?
impressive. Yeah. I love that.
So we're not going to address that.
I was waiting. I knew you was gonna say something. I knew he was gonna say something.
Swanky.
Oh, you said that's one of the things you love to do
Do
is
it,
swing
swing
God.
God.
So,
Getting guys swanky. Okay. All right. Okay. All
Man,
right.
we got one spit,
I see what
one
you're saying.
swanking guy, and the other one spitting on the mic.
yeah. It's something.
Well,
that's
you know what? You know.
to get swanky.
Woo. Oh man,
Only you.
Only
You can think of something of that nature. I'm an image consultant, a stylist. So, I'm going to be helping some individuals
yeah, better
Men.
choice of words.
get
You know you're
stylish.
listening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is that
Trevor,
better? Is that better,
definitely.
Trevor?
Yep.
Then help them get swanky.
Yes.
What's wrong? What's wrong with that? Get swanky.
Swing.
Okay.
No.
Anyway, you all. How was your weekend? Let's move on. Because I don't know what they're talking
Oh, yeah.
about.
It feels real different when the ball's in your court, huh?
Yeah, it's time to start the show.
Yeah, let's get started.
It's about marriage, right? Yeah, you gotta get some of these brothers
How was
married.
your weekend? Let's move on. Let's move on. How was your weekend?
Man, excuse me. My weekend was great, man.
He over here crying.
Yeah, because y'all crazy. Y'all been cutting up all this morning. But I can't complain, man. I had a good, restful weekend. I haven't had that in a long time because it's like, I'm grinding every single day. So to be able to relax, and do some things I normally don't do on the weekend.
Dope.
Feel great, bro. What about
Glad
you?
to
E?
hear that.
Thank you, brother.
Considering that.
Oh, well, I'm
had
going
the
in that.
accident.
I'm going in that direction more to be able to do more of that. And then, like you were saying, spending time with family.
Quality of life,
Man, come on, bro. Especially now, we seasoned men. We've been around for a little while, so we definitely got to take advantage of our loved ones and our friends and everything,
I
bro.
thank God you feel better. 'Cause
I
you were
appreciate
from the accident. You
Yeah,
were still
still sore, but better. But better coming along. I found out at this age we don't heal like we used to.
I bounce back.
Yeah. So hey, but it's still air. No, I ain't gonna use that.
Still what?
I was gonna say it's still air, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
good. I'm good. E?
Great weekend, man. I'm gonna get right into it. I relaxed a little bit and learned some music. I'm preparing to travel the next week and just prepared, man.
Right.
Prepare for this show, man. Y'all ready
Yeah.
to get into the show?
Man,
Yeah, let's get
definitely.
into it.
Let's jump.
Love's Clock. So I'm gonna start off with you, P. What do you think is an appropriate age for someone? Let's start with the ladies to get married.
The ladies, I would say mid 20s to late 20s is. I would think that would be the optimal age to get married, only because that's when their biological clock says that they can produce a child at the, healthy child, before they get to the geriatric stage of pregnancy.
Well, they can produce a child.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you get older,
When you
it
get
becomes
older,
a geriatric, and they,
yeah, but I'm just saying mentally,
it might come out like Trevor, and
And a good sign of that is when they t-shirt try to escape their shirt,
yeah,
like Trevor.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
hold me down.
I want to get out of here.
You want to tuck it or you want to put it out?
You
Shoulda
should have
wore.
and got it him.
He said he didn't say it.
You got some cuffs in your sleeves.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I think that's for women, that would be the appropriate age. Even with my daughters, I even tell my daughters that, hey, you want to be married around this time and having children around this time, And
it's a little different because culturally, normally blacks are in our race. We tell them to live their 20s up and don't get serious until they reach about.
Now
30.
we do. I mean, but can you imagine like when our grandparents were, they started having children at 16.
Oh, absolutely.
17.
Yeah.
So it was very different back then.
And it was vital to survival as well.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you needed,
Because you're talking about, even the word says be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah.
So
especially on farms, you need
Right.
You know what I mean?
You need them hands.
You need them hands.
yeah, many hands makes the load light.
Mhm.
What about you, Kev? What you?
I'm for as a women or just
Yeah, well,
in
let's
general?
go with women first.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate age.
And seeing that women do mature at an earlier age.
Yeah. And then too,
Even mid in some cultures is very late.
Yeah.
Right.
When you get to 25.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
Especially when you say the latter parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It's
at that time, I mean, you kind of experience some things, I would believe, and knowing even yourself, if you're ready to take on a family. So that I think that would be a safe
Age,
round.
right.
Yeah.
I think the focus should be put on the purpose of marriage early.
Yeah.
We should teach
Yeah.
in their teen, probably as early as 16,
Right.
maybe sweet 16.
I started
really-
drilling marry before you carry at an early age for my
Yeah.
daughters.
But I'm
You
talking
know,
about the,
when they
you
each-
really start giving the focus
Yeah.
of, okay, this is why, and this is how, and this is who, and especially because in other cultures, they're taught in college to find your
A husband.
Oh, yeah.
your husband,
Definitely.
Yeah.
and you help build him
Right.
Yes.
to that point. Don't wait till he already established. No, you help build him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I agree with that. And the family structure being foundation being laid early, it helps in statistically that the union thrives.
Yeah, especially if you have a great relationship. We're talking about daughters, a great relationship with your daughter, and she can openly, especially as a male, come talk to you about, like, I know this is gonna feel weird, Baba, but why am I not even enjoying sex with my significant other? You know what I mean? I was like, hey, well, baby, that's a tough one.
For a daddy, that.
You're doing that?
Yeah, I know,
Because I got this 38.
Yeah,
Damn,
Let me pack my brow for a minute.
Yeah, it's
because of my shotgun.
yeah.
Let me, where this nigga at? But
my-
anyway, I think just to have that relationship with a daughter is, I've my daughter, and I always told her, marry before you carry, but you can preach that to the cows come home. And my daughter is she's pregnant.
Really?
Yeah. My oldest daughter is pregnant, and I was like, oh,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is it all right?
That's what I'm saying.
It's still a tough one.
Yeah,
I wish
yeah.
her the best.
Yeah. No, I do wish her the best. And she calls me about, Baba, yeah, I'm gonna have this child at home. And so it kind of, I enjoy that because she was born at home. So she just really mimicking, hey, what can my significant other read to prepare him to be a father like you are? So I'm there. I'm there for you.
Yeah.
That was honorable.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
I'm there.
definitely, your father the young men need their dads.
Yeah.
The
Man, I remember my
girls
father.
as well.
Say it. Say it. I wish you would. Say it. Say it.
Funny thing,
Say it. I still got my belt on, boy. I still got on my belt. This is not the form, Irvin. But I'm gonna ask you this: when do you think is the right age for a young lady to get married?
Well, you wearing a father shirt, so let me.
He a
just
coach.
might be, yeah.
Coach Graham.
Yeah, Coach Daddy.
What do you think is the right age?
I think 23
23
for a woman. Yeah,
Wow. Why?
because I think it prepares her, especially if she wants more kids.
Mm-hmm.
If she wants to raise a family, it gives the perfect spacing and allow her to get back into the workforce. It just depends on the person's their goals. It also allows them at that age. It also allows for them to build with their mate. Because if the mate is around the same age, which is 5 to 10 year difference, and they're to kind of build together, as opposed to this culture that's forced upon us now to be, well, he has to make over six figures, and he has to this, and he has to this, and he has to this. So it lends more to the idea of building together. So if they're taught at an earlier age, because like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, that other cultures, as soon as they hit college, it's not like in your college is for partying. And then when you get out, that's why a lot of other cultures, they really they have an advantage over us, because they marry young, they build with their mate, and they go on to be doctors and lawyers or whatever else, because they got them top of their class, and they wasn't partying, they was figuring it out. They was bred to figure it out.
Yeah, figure out the family.
Figure out the family and what success looks like, and investing in that at an early age.
So what about the African American community?
That's what I'm saying. I would like to see that implemented more, to where we are taught to be intentional when it comes to marriage.
Yeah, because
they are taught to be.
You said I'm African American,
right? So you think that African Americans are?
I'm not 22.
Well, what about
22 or 23?
Belize? How do you feel about Belize community?
The culture was somewhere around 23 or so, like Urban was saying.
Mm-hmm. So we kind of parallel to it, yeah. So what?
I don't want to go into my. Go ahead and finish, and then I'll go into my view.
Yeah, Black, African American, Black.
Yeah, that's three.
You think African Americans are bred to get married at 23?
No,
I said other cultures.
Yeah.
So what about African American? What do you think?
So I started with saying I think we should kind of mimic that and focus and put the focus more on building community, as opposed to waiting, and family, as opposed to waiting past our college years, and then where we gonna find them.
And then he also said that for a young lady around the age of 23. So yeah, did say that.
Yeah, we were listening.
Yeah.
So they meet them in their college years, and by the time they're about 23, they're kind of well into their studies and what they're going to be, or whatever the practice is, and it'd probably be a pretty good time to start a family.
Yeah. I think like you said, in other cultures, they focus on family more than they are taught.
Oh yeah.
The young ladies are taught to be wives, not just at an early age.
Yeah.
Versus in our community, I don't think they're pushing the wife.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of them are single mothers raising single daughters, and they more focus on the hardships of being
exactly. And that's the age of matrimony.
Yeah.
The wife part comes from, like you said, from 16 or whatever. You're being taught, or at an earlier age, how to be a wife.
Yes.
You're not a wife because you went through the matrimony, the service. Matrimony.
You even notice it in other cultures when you go to even the young girls, or when I'm saying the young, but not super young, but they're serving their older brothers or younger brothers. They're making them plates. Right. So they're being basically
being bred for that.
They're teaching them how to serve the man.
And the man is protecting them.
Yes.
So they're taught.
Yes.
Off
And there's nothing
instinctively
wrong with that.
Off the
how
rip.
That's
to
a-
be a wife.
That's a good trade. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
What about you? Believes in American?
Yeah.
I would say between 27 and 32.
Okay.
Because you have if they're focusing on school,
Mhm.
if they're in school, or if they don't know exactly what route they want to take because college isn't for everybody. So either way, I think that the way the culture is having it now, no one knows exactly what they want to do for the rest of their life when they get out of high school. So even colleges know that, and that is a strategy because they all also allow you to change your mind, and they title it changing your major, right? So now it may take another year or so before you do graduate from a vocational program and or even college. Now, based upon the direction that they want to go to, if they want to go to graduate school, or if it's a vocational situation, get into that job environment. After 24, usually you got 2 years to kind of get it together, to put it together. And if that person is focused on it, the desire for a relationship could be harder because they're married to that craft or career or that craft.
Mhm.
So to be focused, they're also preparing themselves from within. So once they start building up their own personal equity, let's call it, then their options are a lot better because I don't think they necessarily know what they're looking for before that. Like I sent you in the text last week. You don't know exactly, when you're in high school, you know what you want. You know who you want. I want to be in a relationship, or she's pretty to me, blah, blah, blah. In college, you're looking at who's a good potential. And then at around 27, you know who you need, not just who you want. Like, I like you, but you know what? I also need you. That's when a person should get married. In my opinion, that happens usually after 27, after the maturation stage of one's mind, and then the understanding of how things work in society, but still be a wife in her spirit and be ready so she won't have to get ready when time comes for her to actually be married and practicing it between 28 to 32.
And with that age, she's starting later. If she planned on having 4 or 5 children, I don't think she would have to start earlier.
Planning on it and being prepared for it are two different things.
So
body wise, though.
I'm talking about like
biologically.
So for her body to recover and everything like that, she needs a amount of time for that to happen. I don't think a woman wants to be 40 and having her last child.
Well, between 28 and 32, I that's just my view. I think that's probably a good time.
But
in terms of her body being able to recover and reproduce
during that time, you probably
coupled with
2 children at them.
Yeah, but you coupling with everything that you had gone to school with first, because that's going to be hard to juggle that if you're not married. So if you have the child and you just graduated from college or your vocational program, now you are going to have to earn some money and income to take care of the child that you would like to have.
And there's the for me, you want your daughter to be self-sufficient and be able to take care of herself. But I think we do our daughters sometimes a disservice if we have them focus on career before we have them focus on family, and waiting to start family later. You're not. I just think you're just, if you plan on having 4 children, you out the box.
Okay,
really,
so but we're talking about realistically the getting marriage stage, right?
Yeah, but you're getting marriage for what? To start family. That's what normally we are getting married to start family.
Okay, so now if you have a young lady getting married at 27 or what have you, I don't know if everybody jumps into having a child first or would want to do that or just enjoy each other first. Mm-hmm. But I would think that they would need some time to gel together, then move forward with plans of having a child, not just because we want one, but because we also can afford to house, take care of, and pay for our responsibility of the child together.
I think a marriage solidifies that on a greater level than not. But having double income or help during the process, because no matter what, if whatever you're doing in your career, you're going to be faced with work. So I think a lot of emphasis is put on the load in college, and that's just a part of life. Studying is you're going to be doing your job once you're in your job. You can have help while you're married, and it may make the load easier and better for college. I don't know the stats, but I just think that I'm glad we're having this discussion, because at least hopefully it'll put something on some people's mind, as opposed to just thinking that your college years are for fun, and no thought is being put into beginning your family earlier, which will put you in a better position in the future.
And the thing is, I mean, you hit on good points, as well as Kanum and Irv as well. But we, and while you guys were talking, I was sitting here just thinking, sometimes when we push education, because I know I started my family early at the age of 20. So then you don't necessarily want your kids when you go through, and then you and the mom is not together, and you want your kid to have focus on something else besides bringing a kid into the world, especially because of, in our culture, how you have more relationships that don't work versus that works. So that's why I believe we push, go to school, go to college, I got you, whatever. Then a man is gonna always, they producing them at the factory all the time, they coming out, so they're going to be there. You may not always have that opportunity to go to school, or you may go and you may not finish. Something may come up to where you don't get a chance to finish school. So I think that too. But this conversation also, because how many times have you, say, besides your own child, had that discussion or asked that question? And it makes me, want to have this type of discussion with my clients. What is your plans? Well, okay, well, do you see yourself getting married? Do you see, having a family? Because so many families are broken, and it seemed like the norm. We have to start back planting the seed,
putting the value back,
back in. Like, look, we are, we're better together.
If you look at the stats now and there, it's going to get worse.
Yeah,
1 out of 4 women is going to get married.
Yeah, and then they even, it's a stat that, like, women that receive a master's degree, the more education they get, the higher their divorce rate is. And I'm
really?
like,
but that shows that they put a lot more emphasis on
career,
career and achieving things, and less on the man. So then you have this superiority complex when often, I'm not saying all the time or all women, but when they get there, you definitely can't, like, not looking back down.
Yeah, and your education don't keep you warm at night. It doesn't protect you when somebody is breaking into your home. Yeah. So they get so high up with, look at my plaques. Okay, but who put them up there for you? Did you do it? Or you called your siblings or somebody to come and do it for you? I don't see a man around. So we got to start. I get exactly what you're saying.
So to put career over family is, I think it's that's where we're at right now. Because I know so many single or in a relationship, Black women that no children, married to their career, and they're miserable.
I think we're thrusted as a community into survival mode versus thrive mode, and we lose the value and the importance of what is valuable. I think at a younger age we live to work, and I'm completely on board with that, whether it be working towards your education or your career or your life. But to succeed. Then as you get older, you work so you live well. And we're also not addressing the component of another helpmeet or leader, or the information from a mentor that is also a peer but a colleague in our marriage, so that we can move forward, a teammate in our marriage so we can grow forward, a companion and confidant that we can depend and rely on to move forward and raise a family. So as a result, sometimes the young men and young women feel as if we have, or they have to do it all themselves. I have to make sure that every component or every aspect of me has to be taken care of, because I don't know if I can depend or trust you, especially our younger men, when they're seeing the older men divorce and lose, if not everything, if not their minds, if not their families, that businesses and homes that they worked for. It could be disparaging for our younger men, and realizing that it does take work to put in towards the growth of your family and to take care of your wife. That type of work should be a labor of love. It should be a joy, not a job. But when we're miserable and we're not being supported and the marriage doesn't gel well, it makes some younger minds a little bit more hesitant to get married.
With that in mind, what do you think is appropriate age for a young man to get married?
I really believe 30, 35. I think 30, 35, because oftentimes, because of the ratio of women to men, I don't think we're that mature. They say women mature, faster than men, but enjoying life. And if you're doing your career and you're thriving and you're succeeding, sometimes men may get big headed and or want to pick trophies versus wifely spirit. Why do I need you to help me? I'll get somebody else. Oh, you talking smack? I have to go with somebody else. Oh, you ain't gonna. We oftentimes have an arrogance about ourselves because we've accomplished it. You went to college, you got your degrees, whatever else. Okay, and you still got to pay off your loans. This is just the mentality that I'm sharing that some men have. Okay, where are you working in your field then? You got your degree in this. Where you working? What you doing? Where you living? Okay, cool. I chose this route. I am practicing it. I am thriving in it. So I'm also equally valuable. It should be by 30 that you're completely entrenched in what you worked for, if you're a focused young man.
Yeah.
That's so I would say between 30 and 35 to get married.
Okay.
I would say 30. Because by then you should have experienced enough, or you should have gotten the play out of, got the play out. And it's an exception to the rule, because when Trev made the statement about women mature faster than, and I believe Trev is an exception to the rule, because he was part of the briefcase pals back in elementary.
Oh, what?
So
He wore a suit to school since he was
high school.
7th grade, right?
9th grade.
Ninth grade, yeah.
So, but
he was one of those guys.
Yeah, I think.
Hence the golf shirt.
Well, yeah, it was whatever was popular back then.
Still on the golf course.
Yeah, but I want to say, I think I was like, I don't know, sometime it escapes him, and maybe that's a good thing. I was 30 something ish when I got married. And at the time I felt I was ready, because then I've already had a child early, and then taking on, and then another thing that's missing, we don't always have a father in the home, or a role model that can teach us or show us how to become a father or a husband, and the duties of that. So that's also absent too from our culture. So, but yeah, I would say 30, 35,
I would say around that age, but it's it's heavily based on your ability to take care of the family financially. You're responsible for your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally,
And the children.
mentally, you're responsible for your wife, bringing it financially, mentally, spiritually, just being a leader. And by that time, hopefully maturity has set in.
Mm-hmm.
And by no means should this be a template that you should just do it by this age. Maturity plays a very big part, and your ability to be a provider.
Yeah.
At least build a skeleton. You know what I mean? You that's just how you want to, but if you have kind of a skeleton,
because you have some people that want to be married 25 years old and they're really ready to be married. I say
really
hats
ready
off. Want to and are ready and determined.
Yeah.
I know somebody really young. It's like, no, I'm finna get married. Like,
just ready to hang it up.
Like 1%.
Matter of fact, Theo's son is young. He's finna get married. I think he's mid-20s.
How old is TJ?
TJ's older. He just looked like
like a kid.
Yeah, he just looked like
I just seen where he proposed. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think
congratulations, TJ.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, TJ.
I think the age is that's starting at 35. I would say 35 to 40. Giving just men a little more time to bake in the oven and to cook a little bit. And by that time, you figured out what you should have figured out. Not everybody figures it out by 35. You should be like hitting a stride in your career, and you're able to maintain and provide for a family at that time. I don't think nobody feels like they ready even when I was married. Are you ready to have a child?
I disagree. I feel you.
Yeah,
because it didn't hit me like that. But we know some people in high school that you saw them every nutrition lunch. They hugged up. They've been in relationships since they was in the 7th grade. All the way. Some people they know.
Some people.
Right.
I'm not saying all, but that definitely as a man, 35, you should be a little solid on what you're doing.
Right.
And, I think that's at that age, you're ready to have children, you're ready to take on a family, and hopefully you got a influx of male influence. So, one thing I didn't know when I was like, when you buy a home, man, I got to know how to, fix the lights, just little shit. You know what I mean?
Or be smart enough to get homeowners or that home keepers insurance.
Home Shield, I think.
Home Shield.
There's a few of them.
I think. Let me say this. I think a large proponent of successful marriages, the burden is on our shoulders, because if we teach our young men and our young women the purpose of it, and we teach them and we prepare them to go further than we did earlier, then the purpose and the resources will be there much earlier, and they don't have to wait till they're 35. Mm-hmm. They're already mature in the 27 to around 30 age. They got so much game and wisdom and life lessons that we've taught from where we've fallen. Mm-hmm. That they're really ready.
Do you guys think, in comparison, or to speaking to your younger self, do you think that the age that you guys either got, because only you guys been married, only us three and only been married. You're not. No, you guys haven't been married.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All of us.
So do you think that the age you got married and the age that you guys had children, what do you think you might have tweaked or want to tweak?
I'd have tweaked everything.
Okay, how so?
I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared when I had a child. No disrespect to any of the situations.
I know. You're
talking about when you had it.
I
know, but you said that. Yeah, I'm talking about myself. I'm speaking to my daughter. She's not a mistake or anything.
Said a younger you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Said a younger me. I had a child early.
Yeah.
19, 20 years old.
Yeah, was it? I thought it was earlier than that. But, you know,
No, it wasn't earlier.
No. He was just practicing. He didn't keep the receipt.
I remember the day or the evening.
That it took place.
Yeah. I should have never let you use them.
Okay.
We were doing a lot of that.
Yeah,
back then.
let's go ahead.
Come on.
Please let him finish.
So we've known each other a long time. That's all he's trying to say.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but the same things I'm saying now, like I would have been more prepared. I would have had more history. I would have been around wiser counsel.
Yeah.
I would have been into other things. I've always been chasing my dreams since a very young age. So in doing so, I was focused on that ever since then. So
we were in training at a very early age.
we were
in training.
We was making good time.
Yeah,
going the wrong way though.
We were in training.
Yeah.
So
marriage.
Oh,
No, I was just reflecting back on her.
And marriage, I would have definitely, the age would have probably been in a perfect world earlier.
Okay.
I think I got married about 35. I think 30 would have been an appropriate age if I was mature and I had all the ducks in a row and I was prepared. It's just the career that I chose. The stability wasn't there, so it took longer to even arrive at that point to where I was able to financially take on a household. So
okay. When do you guys want to go next?
Go ahead.
I'm with her because at 20 there was a lot going on. You know,
a lot of them.
It was a lot of them going on.
A lot of
things. You know, something.
You just hit me.
So I mean, the responsibility.
Was you ready?
No, I had to get ready.
Oh, okay.
No, I wasn't ready. I had to get ready.
But you stood up.
Oh yeah, thank you. And but
to the challenge.
Yeah, and the only reason why I say that is because when my daughter was born at 20, and then I had my sons later in life, I was a different type of dad. You know, I even explained that to my daughter. I'm like, I was a different dad with you than I am with your brothers. And it had the majority of it was because of the age, the maturity,
and the experience,
and the experience. Yeah. But it taught me. Her being born at the time she was born set me up to know how to deal with. I didn't see that was going to happen when they were born, so I knew. Okay, I dealt with it differently. Went through the same situation of broken home, but I had more information on being a father. Now I'm not going to accept that. I accepted that back then. I'm not finna deal with I'm not finna accept. I know I have rights, or I know this and that. So I probably would have tweaked some things, but then at the same time, it made me. Those situations made me the man who I am now, and the father that I am now.
And some people think that the way you grew up, the lack of having a father in the house makes you perpetuate the cycle, and that is completely not true.
I don't think it's necessarily
it's not true. It made
either.
me even. I had to be there because I understood what it felt like not having mine there. Right. So it made me run to the. The challenge and accept it.
Right, exactly. And it's not that I didn't make mistakes along the way, but and then to the marriage part, I mean, I think I was at it just like you were saying, 30, 34. I think I was the age, but it's just important that I chose.
What I didn't get what you said.
I said like 30, 35 is a good. You did. Oh, I thought I was from sneeze, so I wanted to start that before. I didn't want to sneeze on the mic.
Okay.
I ain't got no mask on.
Okay.
So
all right.
Yeah.
I know with me, I think when I was ready to have, I think I was overly prepared
For
for my first child.
really, how so?
Because when she told me she was pregnant, I went out and I was like, okay, we're gonna eliminate this from your diet. We're gonna I started
being diagnosed with what he was diagnosed with.
Yeah.
And he
I was
found
like-
out them pills really worked. He was like, yes.
Yeah.
He was like, yes, I got it.
Yeah.
I got a baby.
I got a baby. I ain't never had that.
Okay.
You talking to somebody that has four children.
You're what? You're what? I'm kidding.
Hey.
Okay.
No, but I really I was ready. I was ready. Yeah.
So
she was a
physically,
highlight.
financially,
Yeah, mentally. I mean, we went to what we called a Le Mans class, but it was more of a African centered Le Mans class. I was experiencing that. We books upon books, reading to my daughter when she was even not even conceived yet. You know what I mean? Not even born yet. So that experience was great for me. You know, I didn't even have certain energy in my house anymore. You know, because I was, you playing the game, yelling and screaming, cursing. I was like, okay, that has to stop. So it was.
That's a lot of self-discipline.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
self-discipline.
Yeah, no, she was when
I
I said
commend you
she
for
gonna
that,
be
brother.
something else.
Maybe if
That's
we
what-
all took on that behavior, maybe
Right. That self-discipline is no
Man.
joke.
Because
So what about
Marriage.
the age that you got married?
I was ready to be married. My thing about being married is like, are you really ready to be monogamous with one woman?
I think that's a lot of men's.
that's big.
That's
first,
The biggest
issue.
thing. Are you ready to? I'm gonna keep it 100. You ready to throw in the player card,
Yeah.
or and you struggle with that.
Yes, sir.
You had a platinum
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You struggle with that.
Yes, sir.
If I had a platinum, he had a titanium one over there.
Carbon fiber over here.
Yeah, he had a titanium one.
Carbon fiber.
Steel
with the rivets on
You
it.
hear
A metal card over here.
my
you
God.
really have to be in somewhat ready for that, unless you live in another lifestyle, which
So
I
Trevor,
was
that
open
brings
to
us
as well.
you. Trevor, that brings us to you, buddy.
The
So-
child or man?
No, I mean both. Both.
For me, I think that I got married. I'm sorry. I think that I had the child. I had my daughter at the age that I wanted to, and I was ready for, and I was prepared for.
You have two daughters, so
The first daughter.
okay.
So
How old
I was,
were you?
I was 30 when I had her.
Okay.
So at that
He's
point,
been a late little
A bloomer.
guy, boy.
I felt that I wasn't really prepared.
No, that's
to-
a great
to
age.
have
Don't. I don't mean to say you're late.
it's
I'm
all
just
good.
saying it. And
I didn't think that I was prepared emotionally because I took raising a child and bringing a life into this world was so serious to me. Like I can't take this lightly. This is a life that I am going to be solely responsible for if anything happens to my co-parent. So am I able to take on this responsibility by myself if need be?
let me ask you this:
I,
Were you glad of your mate then, and not the midget that you was dating before that?
now the midget, she had body. The thing about the midget was
No, he
Well,
really
no-
dated a midget. I'm not even lying.
I know.
I mean,
know
small
he has-
person. I don't say
I
midget.
know he has an affinity for a
Yeah.
midget.
Yeah, no, he
He has an
A
affinity for
little
a
It was
midget.
the
Little
one.
person.
And she's famous too. She was the one on Hell Day. Trevor.
That was for about an hour.
You only dated for her for an hour.
He dated her.
Hold
I
on
was
now.
like, wow.
but
Hour.
But anyway, but no, the age and the preparedness, I think at 30 for me
Mhm.
was there because I was functioning on like the seriousness of my craft.
Yeah.
So
He was always a little mature, little young man.
thank you.
Briefcase pal.
Yeah, the
That was
briefcase with the suit and all that. What? Okay,
Even had to
second-
walk.
second
Drum roll. We got the whole
walk.
little drum roll. All right. What's the question?
George Jefferson.
What do you mean?
The next question is
No, the next you have two child.
Yeah.
You have two children.
Oh, okay. I definitely was ready for Leilani, my youngest daughter. I was definitely ready. Like, yes. I had. You figure I had 20 years of practice. So it's like how
Still
to be
don't
a
mean
daddy.
you're ready.
Yeah.
Well,
Not you. I'm just talking about
there.
Yeah.
My heart
think
was
the
there,
biggest
but
thing
they have
is
different, attitudes.
Right.
Go ahead.
dealing with different parents
Yeah.
at that particular
And
time.
you could experience something the first
Yeah.
time
Right,
that
right.
Yeah.
But I
the
was
second time you like
it was totally different the
Yeah.
Right.
second time
Definitely.
around.
the first one was a precursor to the second child. So it's like if there's going to be any arrows pointed towards me, couldn't stand a chance.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
So
and you were
So-
married.
never married, but that's why I was doing the drum roll.
For you, do you think that this is the right time? Then the walk that we walked
Yeah,
Yeah.
versus.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because for right after my second daughter was born, you guys know I wore a fake ring for like 7 years because I knew that I wasn't whole. I knew that I needed to, stay away from me because I didn't have the capability to love like that. It was too much hell going on within me to want to introduce somebody into a world filled with my hurt. And I'm not whole yet. And I needed to be even more so whole, or the whole that I have, the percentage of me that I had to afford to give away was for my children. So I didn't.
So it was a fake ring you wore,
Yeah.
and then it was the dresses. Did that
Anyway.
ward them off, or did that work? Kind of,
Well-
how a ring has an adverse
Right.
effect.
Right. Well, I
Yeah.
bought
A
dresses
lot
for
of
my
the time.
daughters. They had to go to prom or had to go to church.
That's what I meant. You was a real good dad, bro.
Yeah.
To get dressed like your daughter, just
Right.
to really
Just
make
to
her feel-
support.
Bruh.
Support.
Yeah, you do the sound.
Yeah.
You do the sound.
Support. We get it. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no,
yeah, that's
Yeah, that was definitely
So-
bruh.
Yeah.
So for the children, I was prepared for it. And now going into the stage of being married, you guys knew where I stood, and that'll be an upcoming show as well. But where I stood in being married, I was never really attracted to that, so I didn't really desire it. But I carried myself as if I was married because in my mind and spirit, I'm married to and committed to and loyal to the shop, to my business, to my craft, and to my children. So now
that has
with
nothing
this-
to do with marriage. Right
with
there.
the same principles, it does. It has almost
I
everything
mean,
to do with it
I
because,
understand. I
because
understand.
you also give birth to. We as men
I
are
understand
to
that.
give birth to be
That's nothing
fruitful and
like
to
a
your
living
perspective.
entity.
I respect.
You're
your
talking
view.
about
I respect
a
your view.
business.
But my marriage license.
You're not
to
talking about a
my
person.
marriage license to my shop is on my wall. There's loyalty, commitment, reciprocity.
So
Love.
did you cheat?
We've given birth. We've
Doing
given
that.
birth to other shops, homes. I was fruitful with my shop and multiplied until I found
You
that
don't have to
in a
care for
physical
another person's
form,
emotions.
until I find that in the physical form, I was going to stay with the same principles of being married to the shop. Hence, that's what I believe propelled me to success because I was focused on that until it came to me and I desired it in human form. And now I have that in human form. So now the same principles that I have been practicing all these years, I'm able to have the mental fortitude to share that with the human, this woman that God gave me.
Okay.
I don't care to be a husband. I care to be her husband.
Great. So let me ask you guys something.
I think where we at in time?
Okay, real quick. So Trev getting ready to get married. So what do you guys see yourself getting married again? What would be the cutoff age to get married again, if there is a cutoff age to you?
Excellent question, Kevin. Excellent question.
I think that's another show. I could
Yeah.
tell you my number.
No, we
I
can-
think,
we
I
can
think
go
it's gonna
in.
be, yeah.
We can go
Because
ahead.
I think that's
That's a
whole
very
nother
shit.
very
A whole
very
hour.
good question.
It's a-
yeah, 'cause
I
there's a whole
won't
lot
be able
going
to
into that.
participate
Okay.
in that one, but
All
that's
right.
awesome. I would
All
love
right.
to sit in on
Okay,
that.
well, let's make it happen.
Be the fly on the
yeah.
wall.
Yeah, we'll definitely make that happen. We had that as
The love clock is ticking.
Yeah, exactly. yeah.
Man,
So-
this has been a great show. If there's some topics that you guys want us to touch basis on or want us to address, we would love to hear from you. Also, please do remember to like and share so that someone else can hear. We enjoy your calls, your call-ins, your questions, and your comments. We welcome all of them, and we enjoy it. I hope that you guys enjoy the show as much as we do. We touched basis on, I would say, a solid topic today that it can also help make or break a person's future, as well as the future of a family, the seeds that they want to produce, the gifts that they want to give to this world in terms of the garden that they produce, called a family. And some of our families can either produce weeds or roses. It depends on how we feed it. It depends on the seeds. But we also have to, as men, plant in our garden that we call our family good positive seeds, like some of the gentlemen over here said, and giving good ideas. And maybe you could take from that and extract from that what you will. But hopefully it gave you some idea on how we can create a wonderful garden for our families to give birth to the world, so the world can smell our roses and we can see our roses flourish while we're alive. We thank you for watching the show. We appreciate all of you. Hopefully we'll see you again next week on Spitt'n Pollseedz Wednesday.
Hey, man.
Spitt'n Pollseedz Day. We're going to see you guys next week on Spitt'n Pollseedz Day.
Yeah, that's
like a little
Formally
Wednesday.
Formally Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right.
There you
Thank you.
Yeah, he have a struggle with, remembering. So, yeah.